well, I will say I may base this off of horror stories other people have told me. So the different things I've heard where it sounded like people hired designers who weren't reliable for some reasons, and like a lot of incomplete projects I've heard and things like that. So I would just say definitely pay attention to their responsiveness, even if you have questions for them, let's say before you hire them, and then do they take 2 weeks to get back to you or a whole week or a couple of days, like that type of thing, to just see, are they really checking their business inbox? Because
they're not about that inbox zero if they sitting there queued up.
Because I'm like, I don't understand, because when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, that's so interesting, because our industry can thrive so much on referrals and word of mouth, and you don't want people, saying bad stuff about you.
Absolutely.
But I'm like, these people, I guess they don't care. So anyway, so I'm like, definitely check out that responsiveness. And then I will say design styles. Different designers have a different style, just like if it comes to like fashion or interior design and things like that. So if you kind of can tell you want a certain style of design, check out the person's portfolio and see, like, is that kind of their aesthetic? Are they a little more minimal? Are they a little more super busy? That kind of thing. Because every now and then I'll get somebody that likes the super busy stuff, and I'm like, my brain can't create that. So
like, that is not my ministry or my lane right there.
So it's like, okay, so that type of stuff, making sure their aesthetic is kind of along the lines of what they would be looking for. When it comes to the different platforms, to me, this stuff gets in the weeds. But lately, I've been kind of leaning more towards the WordPress side with different platforms. But
I was scared you were going to say the other W.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can't stand that, man. I've been fighting with Wix the last few weeks. Yeah, it's just like things just move all around the screen. But anyway, with platforms, it depends on the designer. Like I use 3, like WordPress, and the Wix and Squarespace are more by request these days for me, because I'm pushing people to WordPress if they don't have a preference. But some designers specialize in specific platforms. So if it's one of those, people, ask them if they specialize in this, and if it's one you may not want to use, then don't worry about it. But if they most of the time when people specialize in something, they're pretty good at it for the most part. So they can pretty much make whatever you want them to make in their platform that they are used to. So then just kind of trust them and go with it. Because sometimes I'll get people where I'm like, we decided on a platform, and then they're over there still researching other platforms.
That's called indecisiveness.
Yeah, I'm like, girl, like we already down to the logo design, to about to do page mock-ups, and you over here talking about the GoDaddy builder. I literally had a lady like that calling me in the morning about that. I'm like, girl, like we were about to like, please go serve your clients. Let the expert do their thing and go, take care of your, because that's why you're hiring a designer. Oh, and then one more thing, making sure they have some kind of contract in place too, of course, because that just protects both sides. So, and it also makes expectations clear, because I do rarely ever have people who seem like they're unclear about what they get and what they don't get. Sometimes you have to explain things a second time, but for the most part you don't, when people have signed off on a contract, because this kind of work is easy to, they call it like scope creep. So it's very easy for that to happen if you didn't sign anything, and then you may be having these unfair expectations of your designer. So making sure, like, and if it is something you need them to add on, just make sure you ask them to add it on and quote and all that kind of stuff.